If only there'd been some sort of indication that Trump was garbage. No. Not in any world would there be any sort of indication that Trump, the multi-billionaire Nepo baby scumbag, was a multi-billionaire Nepo baby scumbag. I mean, no one could have told, up until he got into office the second time. So, you're offended when someone says happy holidays, but completely fine with using piggy, stupid, and R-worded. See, the thing is, the last set of words is being used by the president. And since we have more standards for toddlers than we do the president, it's fine, for some reason. The most transparent regime ever. Yeah, they're really transparent with how bad they're trying to cover up the very obvious cover-ups. One of the Epstein documents is just 100 straight pages of entirely redacted PDF. Just black rectangles. No gaps. Because, protecting victims definitely means redacting everything actionable that could actually put the people in the Epstein files behind bars. Because, the people bribing the government and the oligarchs don't want to go to prison. Waiting for high-level incompetence and have some of these black box. I'm waiting for some sort of high-level incompetence and have some of these black blocks just to end up being a removable overlay. Someone is going to get the file that in fact wasn't flattened. I've had a scan of those files that were released, and the level of incompetent censoring was actually quite prevalent. Like, even me myself, I saw that on some documents a certain name was censored, and then the next page, their name was uncensored. Yeah, really doesn't make sense. Yeah, definitely not rushed because they were forced by Congress to release them, and even though they censored a bunch of it, still did it really badly. Talk about next level governmental incompetence. I tried with the ones that I looked at. No joy. Well, it's gotta be an insider who leaks it. The Department of Justice redacted everything from the Epstein files. We're witnessing one of the most bold-faced cover-ups in American history. Is it really a cover-up if, everyone with half a brain knows it's a cover-up? I mean, yeah, I guess, but we all kind of know that it's just a pile of bullshit. They know what they're doing, and they know that we know they're doing it. This is the biggest fuck you to the American people I've ever seen. All I've got to say is I'm hoping for the Mar-a-Lago trials. Maybe one day these pieces of shit in government might actually see consequences for their current actions. I mean, yeah, this entire administration is a fuck you to the American people. Anyone who thought this was gonna change anything has not been paying attention in the right direction. Anyone who thought the release was going to look any different is delusional. Well, yeah, I wouldn't say that the regime would really be pro-criminalizing itself. They're scumbags after all, and since they're in power, they're going to be as scummy as possible to avoid actually releasing anything of any value. The Epstein files were never going to be Trump's or the administration's kryptonite. Well, mainly because they're never going to fucking release them, when they're in power. They are the distraction. How exactly is everyone thinking that they'll be held accountable? The next election? The SCOTUS? Congress? How? They control the Department of Justice and the military. Who does anyone think is coming to the rescue? Ask yourselves, in the big picture of everything that's been happening, are these actions of a group of people that have any intention of voluntarily relinquishing power? In 4 years, you don't have to vote again. We'll have it fixed so good, you're not gonna have to vote. President Poopy Diaper. Supreme Leader Trump's Department of Injustice offers states confidential deal to remove voters flagged by feds. Oh, that sounds real democratic, doesn't it? Justice Department attorney says that 11 states have shown a willingness to stop residents from voting at the Department of Justice's request. Just remember, Russia has free and fair elections too. Just in, around 90% of the released Epstein files are redacted, per The Guardian. Damn. I mean, I expected some of it to be redacted, a lot of it, but 9 in 10 pieces of material. Yeah, but they definitely don't have anything to hide, guys. 1,000,000%. I mean, the important thing is that they made sure to release some incriminating Bill Clinton pics. And I've already seen some MAGA shills trying to use it for propaganda points. Last time I checked, I don't think any of us support Bill Clinton. And yeah, if he's incriminated, if he's done illegal shit, yeah, he should be in prison. But I don't think these guys can comprehend that we don't religiously worship every Democrat like they do Trump. Distract by flooding the zone. Wait for the hysteria to target everyone else. Slip in some of the Trump stuff, eventually. Yeah, that's generous. I don't think they will, like, at all. Or if they do, they're gonna have to be made to do it, literally kicking and screaming. Then claim all sides are as bad as the other, so there's no point in doing anything. It's so extremely transparent. The thing people fail to recognize is that people don't worship the leaders of their party in the same way that they worship Trump. If Bill Clinton is incriminated, then he should be in prison. Even if Obama was incriminated, then he should be in prison. We just want all predators to be in prison. It's plain and simple. Hey chat, if you guys want to see more of this Schadenfreude and enjoy this gay guy reading stuff, you should totally like, subscribe and share, because it helps a lot. Also press that weird hype button. It does something apparently. Anyways, thanks for watching, and back to the video. Funniest thing about Trump and Epstein being close isn't just that they were friends, it's that it is the only evidence we have of him having any friends at all. His only ever friend was this guy. Lol. Not only friend, only best friend forever. I mean, obviously until their secrets got out, then they never knew each other. Oh no, Trump was an informant. Never mind, they don't know each other. No, Trump was an informant again, and they don't exist. You know, all of these redactions to files that apparently don't even exist is crazy. Epstein files, 119-page grand jury document entirely redacted. Now the cover-up is out in the open. It was already pretty prevalent. This is far from over. Everyone involved will have to answer for this. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, the whole regime. Protecting a bunch of rapists and pedophiles because they have money, power and connections. Bondi should resign tonight. Well, no, she can't resign, because then she'd become the fall guy for any other scummy reason the regime has. Whether it's for their own benefit, whether they're getting extorted or blackmailed, etc, etc. They're gonna probably stay loyal to the regime. I mean, obviously, until their use runs out and then they get thrown out. Right. Is this the same grand jury document the Republicans have been howling that the Democrats won't let them release? Well, I mean, it definitely is the Dems' fault. Probably the largest fault in the history of faults. What, you think Republicans covering up the Epstein files was the Republicans' fault? No, of course it's the libs. Bill Clinton and Barack Hussein Obama made the Republicans that control every branch of government cover up everything. Except for Bill Clinton. Trust me, it makes total sense. To the MAGA, it absolutely does. I mean, it might not, but they're not paying attention to actually consider it. Thanks, Obama? Previous presidents told us to go to war over weapons of mass destruction that did not exist. Now it's the same playbook. Except, we're told that drugs are the weapons of mass destruction. If it were about drugs, we'd bomb Mexico or China or Colombia, and the president would not have pardoned Juan Orlando Hernandez. This is about oil and regime change. Well, of course, America's entitled to that oil that isn't theirs from a sovereign nation. And as of recording, like 6 or 7 hours ago, the US has seized another oil tanker. Hey Dumburger, if you finished 2nd grade, you'd know that you can't lower by 600%. Maximum is 100%. i.e., your approval dropped by 100%, your ankles grew by 100%, you're 100% in the Epstein files, your speech was 100% loco, you're 100% scummier and dumber than me, GCN, C is for calculus. Ah yes, Trump's amazing, definitely not demented address to the nation that started off as any upstanding president would start it, by blaming the previous president, a year into his presidency, for all of the bad things that he's done. Breaking news, Grindr is having a severe outage in Phoenix during Turning Point USA's convention. There's definitely no projection to be seen here. Of course not, 1,000,000% not. Senator Tommy Tuberville just went full nativist on the Senate floor, telling a sitting US congressman to go back to Somalia and smearing immigrants as terrorists. And if you have a look at that image and the poorly photoshopped propaganda poster, really shows you the caliber of very upstanding politician that we're dealing with here. Gotta love nativists whose lineage can be traced back to Europe. As we all know, the definition of native is someone whose ancestors immigrated. They don't actually care if someone's native or not, they're just trying to excuse their white supremacy. Hey England, you want this one back? No? Yeah, as an Englishman myself, we don't claim them. Guess you're just gonna have to walk straight into the fucking ocean then, eh Tubby? The imported South African oppressed white billionaires will somehow be considered more American than brown people who've lived here for generations. It's less about lineage and more about a master race, which is always pushed by these types of people who don't have genes worth passing down.